I love this Umrah and I love Dar es Salaam. So
yeah,
I might...
don't disappear. Stay.
Okay, inshallah. But I'll let you start, inshallah, Sheikh, and then we'll start off not the programming, but this is going to be an exciting announcement. I'm so happy for the winner. And inshallah, Sheikh Ammar.
Well, we don't know who the winner is, but we'll see.
I know, we don't. I'm happy for them regardless of who they are, inshallah.
Excellent. So, alhamdulillah, salatu salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi sallam kathira. Now, the beginning of Ramadan 360, the idea was, let's do all of these beautiful social media challenges. And alhamdulillah, we were able to, in partnership with our wonderful partners, that is Salam Travel, we were able to put together this Umrah grand prize, which inshallah is amazing. And to go with Dar es Salaam is to literally go with the best. And the Prophet ﷺ city, and going to Mecca, of course, for the Umrah itself, it's just an unbelievable experience. And the prize is coming down to 14 people. So these are the 14 individuals who have fulfilled all the requirements of being put in this raffle that we're going to draw, inshallah ta'ala, in a second. And I just wanted to shout out who these 14 individuals were. Out of everybody who's been doing the challenges and all of that, and all of the energy that was created, alhamdulillah, and all of the beautiful discussion and the memories that were shared, there were 14 people who were the most consistent and fulfilled the minimum required to be put in this raffle. And that is Bushra Ghazi, Sabila Toshit, Janabu Ba, Rakshi Qurashi, Almas Shafiq, Samina Faraz, Ibtisam. What's Ibtisam's last name? I don't have it here. Hold on. I have it in the raffle. I just forgot it. Okay, so Ibtisam, Dina Abu Jabra, Adilbe Amir, Hina Ansari, Sundus Amreen, Sydney Bender, and then two people who participated now consistently on Instagram as well, which is Khadija bin Charles and Nafisa J. And so this is our 14. As you might have noticed, they are 100% sisters. Okay, 100%. Brothers, we got sporadic participation from, but the sisters held it down every single challenge, alhamdulillah. And so somebody's going on Umrah. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept, and beyond that, of course, to accept our fasting and to accept our charity and to accept our worship during this month, and that we all be winners, that we all be of those who are forgiven when this month passes. Okay, so that being said, I have this super official raffle box that was handmade for this purpose. It looks like a Kleenex box, but inside of it is these 14 names. And so we're going to start with the third prize winner. So third prize, and then we're going to go to second prize, and then we're going to go to the grand prize. That's the idea. And the third prize is going to be the Zainab Binti Jahsh Award that we have in the Launch Good tier system. And so that is 5 on-site or online seminars through Al-Maghrib Institute, as well as lifetime access to Faith Essentials. So our third prize winner is going to get lifetime access to Faith Essentials, inshallah ta'ala, as well as 5 either on-site or online seminars or courses that they can take. And we're going to kick off the drum roll now. So we need a drum roll. Everybody, if you can please just, in whatever way you can in the comments, just hit us with a quick drum roll. We gotta do this right. We gotta do this appropriately. Unfortunately, we should have had the sound effects for the drum roll. But how are you doing, Hafsa? Are you okay?
Great. I tried. I tapped a little finger here. Can you hear it?
Yeah. I see Henna. She's drumming on Facebook. Hey. I know the drums are coming. Alhamdulillah. But just in general, how was your morning? Was it a good morning?
Are you talking to me?
Who else am I talking
to? Okay. It was an emotional morning. Okay, guys, this is why my camera's not on. It's okay. I'm getting myself together. Inshallah, give me a minute and then I will join as well.
Because it's the last day of Ramadan, or because it's the last day of Ramadan 360?
To be honest, a little bit more of the latter. I feel like I mentally prepared myself for the last day of Ramadan more so than I did the last day of Ramadan 360.
All right, the drum rolls are coming. Okay, hold on. Keep the drum rolls going on. Nazmi, why'd you stop? Keep them coming, Zainab. Keep them coming. Here we go. We're about to get third prize winner.
YouTube, let's have a look at you guys. MashaAllah, shake. We didn't even actually announce that we would have a third prize. So this is kind of extra exciting that we have the second and third prizes as well. We want to make sure that everyone's appreciated. Bismillah. Oh, wow. This is interesting. Oh, Sheikh, I can't hear you.
Oh, hold on a second. I gotta shake this again then. Hold on a second.
Extra drum roll, extra drums.
I was on mute.
Beautiful.
Before someone comments and says, can you please select it with your right hand? This is my right hand. The camera flips the image, okay? Before I get that comment, the camera flips the image. All right, so I'm choosing it with my right hand. Bismillah. This is for third place. Who do we have?
Bismillah. Oh my God, I'm more excited than you guys are. Bismillah.
We have Janabu Ba.
Ah, Janabu, congratulations.
Mashallah.
Okay, I'm putting on my camera for this. Congrats, I'm so happy
right here.
for you.
You can read my handwriting, Sister Janabu Ba.
Mashallah. Written by a highlighter as well, mashallah.
Written by a highlighter. We do this official. This is official. This is the quarantine version.
Congratulations. That's Janabu from Faith Essentials. Jazakumullah khair for participation. I'm so happy for her. Aw, that's awesome. Congratulations. I wish I could hug you all virtually, but khair inshallah. It's all sisters, so I can. Okay, sorry, Sheikh. I had you muted.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, you guys can do the virtual hugs later.
Okay, all right. Inshallah. Janabu, we have to have an
online party. Congratulations, Janabu. You've got 5 online courses that you can take at any time. Enjoy, inshallah ta'ala, or on-site courses whenever they roll around to your city. I don't know what city that you're in, but that as well as, of course, lifetime access to Faith Essentials. That's wonderful. And now we come to the $1,000 prize, which is Abu Talha al-Ansari. And that is lifetime access to Faith Essentials also, and 10 on-site or on-demand seminars.
That is
cool. So let's do the drum roll for this one. And I'm gonna do the shaking of the super official raffle box.
Everyone, drums again. Build the hype, inshallah. Make the for yourselves and others. I know. Awesome. Thank you, Nizmiya. I know we've been working ourselves to the bone.
We're just gonna keep shaking this.
Keep shaking it. I don't even know what to say. I'm almost like as if I actually entered into it, as if I have the chance.
Are all of these participants available, by the way? Like, can we get some?
Always watches. I know she's got to be here.
Are they all in the?
Nabu, are you coming in? Let me see. Either message me or please comment on the Facebook comments. Congratulations. And I'll look out for it. I'll let you guys know when she's responded. Oh, congratulations. Okay, let's see. Bismillah.
Okay, so now for the second prize winner. Here we go. We're not going to go from the top. We're going to go from the side because that's more official. Right hand, of course.
Okay.
So, Hafsa, what are you planning for Eid tomorrow? What are you guys going to do over there in Toronto?
Why would you do that to them? Inshallah, I'm meeting up with some revert friends and we're going to do a breakfast, an Eid breakfast that we usually do.
You're going to do an Eid breakfast?
Yeah.
Nice. Like 11 a.m. or like, is it like an early breakfast? Is it a late breakfast?
See, they're early risers. I'm praying it's more like a brunch, but we'll see, inshallah.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Cool. All right, guys, keep the drum roll coming. Come on. Keep the drum roll coming. We're almost there. I'm just
Nizmiya is doing
sure everything is sifted and everything is shaken well and stirred. Okay. Ready?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Drum roll. Here we go. Second place winner. I've got one. Here we go. Second place winner is.
Oh my gosh. Bismillah.
Adilba Ammar.
Did I butcher that? Okay. I make sure I can say that properly. Hold on. Read that. Adilba
Ammar, second prize
winner. Adilba Ammar, congratulations! I have to pull up your posts. I can't remember which ones that you did, but mashallah, the fact that you did all
Adiba. of the... Nazmi is saying it's Adiba.
Adiba, that makes more sense. I was like, Adilba. I don't remember an Adilba. Congratulations, Adiba. Congratulations. You have so much to look forward to, inshallah, after quarantine, and especially coming up the next courses that we have, Sheikh Ammar's course. There's so much exciting things coming up. Congratulations. Thank you for your participation. I'm so happy for you. Please comment.
Absolutely. Hold on a second.
Okay, we have to do a bit of...
Hold on, we got to keep this locked. We got to keep this locked. Okay.
Can't lose any names.
No, everything's accounted for. So, Adiba, congratulations. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and reward you and enjoy the lifetime access to Faith Essentials as well. And now this brings us to the grand prize. This is going to Mecca and Medina, inshallah ta'ala, whenever this quarantine is over with Dar es Salaam. Check them out, of course, at Dar es Salaam Travel. Google them if you've never heard about them. They operate in the United States and Canada and the UK. I've had the privilege of going with Umrah with them before and Hajj with them before. And it's just you're just completely taken care of. And so you can just completely focus on your ibadah. Dar es Salaam Travel, our wonderful partner. That being said, we need the drum rolls. What did you guys stop for? Here we go.
That wasn't even justice. That was like an understatement of the year. Dar es Salaam just like babies you like a mother. So you don't have to do anything. And it's literally the most dream-like Umrah experience. Like you feel like you're like, this is Jannah. Like how is this going to get any better than this? So
yeah, you do get babied, absolutely.
And I'll probably join you. Whoever ends up winning, DM me. Let's go together, inshallah.
Hafsa probably will go with you.
I will.
Yeah, Hafsa is included in the package.
Yeah. Buy one, get one.
There's a lot of sisters now. All right. All right, we're keeping it moving. Here we go.
I feel like we have to say more. We haven't even like hyped it up enough. It's like the best experience in your entire lifetime.
Come on, then hype it up. Hype it up.
Even if you've been before, you have never been to Umrah like what you have with Dar es Salaam. You've never had this just dream-like experience where like every day you wake up and you're like, how is this my life? Is this Jannah? And you're so grateful to Allah from day one to the end of the experience. We have the privilege with Al-Maghrib working with them with Blessed Voyage, which is this like an amazing addition to the experience where you have our shuyukh, you have their beautiful experience of the Umrah. Oh my God, I can't even put enough words into it. I had the privilege of going for the first time in December, and I'm dreaming to join you, inshallah. I actually begged if I could participate in this from day one, but you know, it would be kind of rigged if I did.
Yeah,
so I'm so happy for you.
And so how did you, was that your first time when you went this last time?
Yeah.
And how was Medina?
Oh my gosh. I literally like, I could just sleep in the masjid and die there. Like, you know, but like, I literally like, that is the closest I've ever felt to the sereneness that I can even dream of that Jannah would have.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. And what about Mecca?
Mecca was more intense, but it was so emotional. The most emotional experience. It was like your heart was breaking and then mending and then breaking and then mending. And then you left it like so sad. And then you came home and you were so calm, and it was just life-changing.
That's amazing.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
All right, yeah, and Mecca and Medina are both on this Umrah trip. Here we go for this person. Who will this person be? Even my cats are excited. They're running and they're chasing each other. They're like, oh, we want to know who it will be. All right.
Literally, okay. I will go with you. Bismillah.
Now we're shaking the. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Oh.
Drum roll. Gracie, I see you. I love you. Nice to see you.
All right, Bismillah. Bismillah. Here we go. Here we go. Before my cats start taking stuff. All right. And the winner of the Ramadan 360 2020 Umrah on this Saturday of May,
the 30th day of
29th, which is the 30th day of Ramadan. Is today the 29th of May?
No, it is absolutely not the 29th of May. It's the 23rd.
The 23rd of May, which is the 30th day of Ramadan, where some of us are fasting. And some of us have broken our fast.
In the presence of angels.
In the presence of angels.
After a month of pleasing our Rabb.
Being witnessed live on Facebook and Faith Zoom.
Family. Hey, Faith Essentials family.
With the Faith Essentials family. And Ramadan360.org. and Dar es Salaam.
And Al-Maghrib.
And Al-Maghrib Institute.
And supported by IDRF in Canada, ICNA Relief in the USA, Orphans in Need in the
Couldn't do it without everybody's support.
Yes.
Everybody's presence.
We all did it together.
Bismillah. Are you guys still drum rolling or what happened? Like you got to either be drum rolling or making dua. You can't not do either. There has to be drum rolling or making dua happening. Here we go. Thank you, Zainab, for keeping this going. I didn't even know there was a drum roll emoji. That's crazy. All right. Here we go. Suspense is over.
Is it over?
Inshallah. Forgot to say inshallah. Otherwise, the suspense would have just continued. Okay, here we go. And the winner is Bismillah.
We're all winners at the end of the day.
Of the Umrah. Sundus Ambreen.
Congratulations! sorry. I apologize for being obnoxious, but congratulations on this. I'm so happy. Please share who you'll be going with or when you'll be going, inshallah. Not when, but I'm out of words. I'm so happy for you. May Allah accept from you all your participation and all your efforts and your intentions. And I'm so excited for your Umrah, inshallah. As soon as the quarantine is over, this is what you have to look forward to. Thank you so much to all of you who participated, who made this experience as beautiful as it is, and who touched so many hearts with your posts and your sharing and your honesty and your openness and your vulnerability. It was honestly so beautiful because of the Ramadan challenges. And thank you to Sheikh Ammar, who helped and who actually fronted, who came up with this idea and who pushed it and made it happen. Nobody would be going on Umrah, nobody would be getting these prizes, subhanAllah, if it hadn't been for his inventiveness and his pushing.
No, alhamdulillah, as a team, we all came up with the idea together. Jazakallah khair. Sundus, what city is Sundus from? Where's she? Is she on? Where's Sundus?
I've seen her. I'm pretty sure this is Sundus from Faith Essentials, mashallah. But I'll wait for your comments. Sorry, guys, I haven't been looking very.
Sundus, if you're on, come join us. Let's chat real quick. We got a couple of minutes, inshallah ta'ala. We'd love to hear from you.
I'll give you a separate Zoom link if you're comfortable, and you can join in live with us. If not, please just feel free to send us a message here. She is on.
Sundus is on. Where are you at, Sundus?
Let's see. I don't see her on Zoom, so I'm assuming she might be on Facebook or whatnot. But by the way, we do have Sheikh Waleed coming on soon for a lecture, and we have Sheikh Suleiman Hani to wrap up, inshallah, the month with a bang. So don't go anywhere, inshallah. I just want to see if we can get a word or two from our. Oh, she's on Facebook. Ah, congrats, Sundus. Oh my God. Yes, keep us in your du'as. And oh, she's here. Yes, we see her. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I'm so happy for her.
How's her emoji situation right now? Is she?
I think she's still in shock. I think.
Oh, she's still in shock?
Yeah, I'd be in shock. Well, may
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you, Sundus. Here we go. In the green highlight. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you. And is this her first time going to Umrah? Sundus, is this your first time?
Is this your first time? I remember her posts, but I can't pull it up right now. MashaAllah, she's been participating so regularly. Oh, she says she can't type because her fingers are shaking. Oh.
Alhamdulillah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I mean, the haram in and of itself is just unbelievable. To think that you just pray one prayer there and it's equal to 100,000 prayers anywhere else, right? You do the math of how many days that is everywhere else. And of course, the city of the Prophet ﷺ, and in general, where the seerah comes to life and you see that this is where it all happened. And this is I'm looking at the same earth that the Prophet ﷺ was looking at, and I'm looking at the same sky. And this is the mountain of Uhud that I've been reading about and hearing about my whole life. And here it is covering the entire landscape of the horizon. It is just unbelievably overwhelming. And exactly what Hafsa said with regards to Medina. Medina is just so incredibly beautiful and tranquil and peaceful. And in fact, it has a piece of Jannah in it, right? And so the Rawda min Riyadil Jannah, the Prophet ﷺ says that Jannah, or that between the minbar and his house, is a garden from the gardens of paradise. And so that's part of the reason why we're so attached to Medina, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, La yabghuna anha hiwala. About Jannah, you never want to leave it. And that's why people never want to leave Medina. But in any case, this has been a wonderful, wonderful month. And jazakumullah khair, everybody, for all of your posts and your engagement and your support and support of each other as well. And for everybody who's come in as a finalist, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all and grant you much more than anything that we could reward you with. This is, inshallah, just a small piece of the reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for all of us. And like I mentioned to you guys before, as Hafsa turns off her camera because she's starting to cry now, I'm assuming. But in any case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, Hal jaza'ul ihsan illa al-ihsan. Is the reward for goodness anything but goodness? And that's a beautiful verse from Surah Al-Rahman. And it is, we offer whatever goodness that we can, right? With all of our shortcomings and our faults and our mistakes and all of this type of stuff. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards it with ihsan from Him. And what does ihsan from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala look like? Like, what does goodness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala look like? We offer our good, the energy that we put in and the work that we put in and the fasting that we put in and the fatigue and the mistakes and all of that. And because we offered, right? We just came and we showed up and we offered. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the reward for ihsan, anything but ihsan. But the two ihsans are not the same. Our ihsan is not equal to the ihsan that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show us. But we are entering upon a Lord who is perfect and generous and loving and merciful and forgiving. And so let us, for those of us who are already in Eid mode, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us and from you. And for those of us who still have a couple hours of Ramadan left, the best actions that we can offer during these moments are continuing to seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, continuing to repent to Allah, and continuing to exercise much dua and exercise much hope and good expectation, and assuming the best from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with that being said, Sundus, looking forward to hearing about your Umrah trip, inshallah ta'ala. And we thank our, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we thank our partners in Dar es Salaam for making that happen. And for everybody else, jazakumullah khair, very, very much. And see you guys soon, inshallah.
Inshallah. Oh, is this your goodbye? Is this your official goodbye, Sheikh?
Yeah, I'm done. Khalas. I'm going to go into Eid mode now, inshallah.
Inshallah.
I'll see you guys on the page, inshallah, but no more sessions.
No, hey, we don't know. We don't know about like official Ramadan 360 sessions, but let's see what happens, inshallah.
Yeah, I'm going to go put this back where I found it. I'm going to go put it back in the official safe for something that is obviously so valuable and such an important artifact that we were using. It was just something very symbolic that I wanted to make sure that we used for such an important occasion.
Thank you so much for that. That was just, yeah, it touched me in a different way. I can't even put it to words. Thank you. All right, jazakumullah khair, Sheikh, for bringing the energy, bringing the hype, and for all your work with Ramadan 360. I'm not good at goodbye, so inshallah it's not a goodbye. So we'll see you later, inshallah.
Yallah, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Everyone else, please stick around. Inshallah, we'll be having Sheikh Waleed Basuni joining us very shortly for Zakat-ul, Fitr, and Eid. He'll be talking a little bit about Eid itself as well. I'm just super. Can you see my tissues in the back? That's where I just stole a tissue from. And I want to remind you all, inshallah, that subhanallah, that I love that just what Sheikh Ammar just highlighted, and I want to just repeat that, is a reward for good, anything but good. All of you who participated, yes, you had a hope and a dream of winning the Umrah prize. Make sure you continue your du'as during and after Ramadan. As I was sharing during my overly large, long little story time a few days ago at the dua night. Subhanallah, I had just a random dream right at the end of Ramadan last year that I wanted to go to Umrah with Sheikh Waleed, and I had that happen within less than a year. I was thinking maybe within a couple of years and whatnot. So make your du'as, and maybe we'll join Sundas. Please share with us, inshallah, when things improve, when you actually end up going. And I would love for us as a family to, inshallah, go together and to have that experience. It's such a life-changing experience. Even if you've been once, every time you go, it changes you. So I'm assuming, because I've only been once, but I've heard. So I do hope that inshallah you share with us your experience. I know it must be quite a shock right now, but may Allah accept from you all your efforts. And thank you so much for your participation, and for every single one of you who put your heart and soul. Al-Mas, there was literally every single person in the staff was cheering for you, was sharing your posts, and was loving your openness. There were so many others that, mashallah, you made us cry, you touched us, you connected us. And that's so rewardable. It's not just about the likes. It's not just about the comments on the posts themselves. It's about that community that you provided us, and may Allah reward you for it. And that's such a beautiful thing to be part of. So inshallah. And first of all, actually, finally, before I even get a chance, we thank Sheikh Ammar for his participation, and he did such a great job. But this entire Ramadan challenge, it was so hard for us to manage on our own, and we had to outsource. We had to look for someone so dedicated, so consistent, and who would put their heart and soul into it to help us with it. And we came upon, of course, someone who's constantly generous, constantly offering to assist us, constantly just giving and providing to the community and asking for nothing in return. Sister Nizbia, I want to really celebrate you for being the challenge head, for being the challenge coordinator, for putting it all together, for making sure the posts go out on time, for making sure the emails are set with Sister Ridwana, of course, sending the emails, for being such an integral part of this experience. Sister Nazmia, I wish we could give you an Umrah grand prize just for the sake of it, but may Allah give you so much better in this world and in Jannah in the hereafter. May He raise your ranks and make this so heavy in your scale of deeds. This and every single thing that you do for the Maghrib community, as well those amazing volunteers we had for the hosting sessions, mashallah. When when we reach out to the community, all of this entire session, this entire experience was because of and was made possible by our volunteers and by our amazing Al-Maghrib family, who are constantly there for us, who are sharing, who are interacting, regardless of what time zone that they're in. So I want to thank, Brother Adnan Zaber, Brother Adnan Jamaluddin, who hosted sessions. And definitely, I want to highlight the amazing Al-Gindi family, Rania Al-Gindi and Ahmed Al-Gindi, for their amazing support and coming through in a way that I didn't even expect to have to need them for. But may Allah reward you all. You were such a treasure, such a treat to the platform. I can't wait. Inshallah, we'll be starting in just a minute or so with Sheikh Waleed to kind of round off all these amazing sessions. I hope that you guys take this opportunity, and I've been telling you guys constantly to make sure that this has changed our entire perspective. This Ramadan and this Corona situation, it's opened our eyes to a lot more opportunities for khair and a lot more consistency in our good and our ibadah than we ever thought possible. We prioritize things like our salah and our siyam and so many things that we don't make priority during the year. Obviously, fasting is mandatory on us, but perfecting our salah, our relationship with the Quran, our understanding the Quran, the tafsir, every aspect, the Prophet ﷺ. I'm getting emotional. You can tell I'm getting a little heated, but subhanAllah, we have done so much good, so much khair together. May Allah accept it and forgive us of any of our imperfections and our weaknesses and our incompleteness in our deeds, and accept us into Jannah together. Ameen. It was such a pleasure, honestly, being part of this experience. I'll do a little goodbye at the end, wait around, unless you don't want to hear it at all, then you can go. I won't make you force you to stay through it. And inshallah, we'll have Sheikh Waleed first doing his Zakat-ul Fitr and Eid al-Fitr, and then we'll have Sheikh Suleiman Hani once again with a farewell Ramadan. He has such a great way of summarizing and connecting us, alhamdulillah, in the community. So I'm so excited for him being the final session, inshallah, for Ramadan 360. There's still going to be a lot of sharing, and I want us to take opportunity. We were able to encourage each other to do so much khair and so much good. So continue that volume of sharing and being open with each other and sharing your experiences after Ramadan as Corona changes, as things end, whatnot. I hope that we use each other as a support system, and we continue to race for khair together. I'm so excited that we did it through our charity partners, through our sessions themselves, through our connection with our shuyukh. We have had this level of family that I've never had before, alhamdulillah. So Hannah, I already had my cry, so it's your turn to cry as well. My apologies if I'm making you cry, but feel free to comment if there's anything that you would like me. Oh, there was also so many, what really made me happy? SubhanAllah, Al-Maghrib family has changed and grown, and we started off as some of us teenagers, and then adults got married, had kids and whatnot, and there were so many people sharing stories of their children, 13-year-old, 14-year-olds winning the Kahoot games. We had a sister share, I think Sister Aisha was her name, her 9-year-old son likes to go watch on his iPad and waits at the end of the sessions for the Kahoot game, and that's his highlight of his day, that he gets to watch those games and he gets to participate, mashallah. That's such a beautiful thing to be involved in. And I know we had this session a couple days ago about teaching your children about Allah. I hope that this passion that you built through this program and through Ramadan 360, you continue on afterwards and build that in your kids and build that in the community. You guys are now torchbearers. You've had this experience. You've learned so much. You've learned different ways to engage your community and support each other and be a family to each other. And I know we're still separated, but inshallah, as you are separated and when we come back together, don't lose sight of all the amazing lessons that you've learned now and all the prioritization that you did for your ilm and all the sacrifices that you made of time and sleep and energy to keep consistent with it. And even if you weren't, the recordings that you'll watch, whatnot, you have so much access. Don't forget that. For those who haven't already, I do encourage you to sign up for Faith Essentials so that you can continue as part of our family, an even tighter knit family, inshallah, and continue benefiting from live sessions and series and whatnot, because this is what we have consistently on Faith Essentials. Ramadan 360 is just Faith Essentials on steroids in a way, So alhamdulillah, you'll still have that regular programming and that consistency to look forward to. But otherwise, in your communities and your families, when physical courses come back, when things, start to go back to normal, make sure we've realized the importance of our community, the importance of striving to seek beneficial knowledge, and the importance of remaining connected to Allah and purifying our hearts and constantly racing and struggling and striving with as much as we can until we reach the final goal, which is Jannah. SubhanAllah, Ramadan has been a struggle, and we thought we were so scared going into it, and we did so well, alhamdulillah. Wherever we fell short, we asked for forgiveness, and we'll continue to ask for forgiveness for those who have of us who have a few hours left, continue to do so. And inshallah, you know you can do so much better. So make sure that you make that commitment. And after things are gone and the excuses come back and life goes back to normal, don't let it be the same normal that it was before Ramadan, before coronavirus. Let this be a catalyst for change, inshallah, for yourself, for your family, and for your community, and be that torchbearer, that forerunner in that, inshallah. Sorry, apologies. I did not expect to go on such a long tangent. I'm just going to check to make sure that should, Sandus, you're so sweet, mashallah. It's so nice to see you on. Actually, hold on. Is this Sandus? Let me see if I can, would you be willing to come back on and share your feelings for a second? If not, don't worry. I know you'd be really emotional, so I don't want to do that to you. Inshallah. Ameen. Thank you so much for your support. Guys, please bear with me for 1 second, and I'm just going to make sure Sheikh Waleed is good to go. If anyone actually would like, I wouldn't mind promoting you if you guys are in a state to do so. We haven't had the opportunity to do that outside of the virtual iftar that we had, which I'm sorry we couldn't do a part 2. But if anyone would like to say a few words, I'd love to promote you to panelists and let you guys speak for a second or so, just as I connect with Sheikh Waleed and make sure he's all good to go. I know he was excited for today's session. He requested that we do this session on his own, mashallah. So I hope that, let's see if anyone wants to. Oh, Yusuf. So I would, as long as you're okay, you have a clear background, you have a hijab on, whatnot. Oh, we lost the opportunity. No worries. Khair, jazakumullah khair for offering. It was I'm glad that someone actually reached out. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Sheikh Waleed, how are you doing?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay.
Give me just 1 second, please.
Yes, take your time, Sheikh, inshallah. If you guys have any questions coming in, feel free to submit them. I see some have already been submitted. What sessions are happening on Faith Essentials after Ramadan? We have a couple series in a few days after June 5th. Inshallah, we have Sheikh Ammar Suleiman's course launching, Through the Fire. So look forward to that. We'll have live sessions for that course as well. And then after 360, what we're going to do is we're going to set a short series, inshallah, with some of our highlighted speakers based on your recommendations. Some of them we've already secured. Some of them we're still reaching out to, inshallah. And we'll announce them on the portal and through emails, inshallah. So you have some regular programming to look forward to. We'll give you about a week off so that you don't lose it. And we do have one Lost in Translation session on Thursday with Sheikh Ammar. So you have that to look forward to. And then afterwards, we'll start kicking off the series and we'll keep you all connected. We want to make sure that this momentum, you have a break in terms of your body, and then inshallah you come right back into it, and inshallah maintain some of the amazing habits that you've built over this month, and you continue your search for beneficial knowledge, inshallah. Beautiful. Oh, Sundus, you're Yusuf. Oh, get out. Okay, we have to see if you're able to stay until the end of it. Oh, that would be awesome. Sheikh Waleed, is it at all possible for us to have a quick little interruption before you start? We just announced our amazing Umrah winner, our grand prize Umrah for Dar es Salaam for the Ramadan 360 challenge. And she's here with us. So I'm just going to mute you really quickly. So if you're
Congratulations. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Nice. What exciting.
MashaAllah. We had a few winners. So inshallah, I'm going to, if you don't mind, if you're not comfortable, don't worry about it. But I'm just going to quickly promote you to panelist.
I'm good.
Okay, awesome. Bismillah. And then whenever you're ready, that would be such a treat, inshallah. Okay, so whenever you're ready, you can unmute your microphone and your camera, and we'll be so excited to hear, inshallah, from the beautiful winner of our Ramadan 360 Ramadan challenge. Bismillah. I can unmute you if it's easier. Okay, so I'll quickly unmute you if you like. And okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Are you still there?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah feekum. So I won't take up too much of your time, and I won't put you on the spot too much, but how are you feeling right now? What's going on? Feel free to share anything.
Yeah, so basically I was just sitting and obviously making a lot of dua. I had my mom next to me and I was also asking her, can you please make dua for me? And yeah, as soon as I heard it, I couldn't believe it. And then I fell into sajda, thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and just crying a lot. My fingers were shaking. Yes, and then my mom hugged me, and then I told my dad, and yeah, just telling everyone, called my husband, he was at work, and I told him, and I'm just so grateful. Jazakallah khair to you and to everyone for making this possible. Yeah, I'm about to cry again.
Barakallah Fiki for your beautiful participation, for your passion. I'm so happy that it came, that you were eligible for it and that you won. MashaAllah, like it's such a life-changing experience. Have you ever been to Umrah before?
Yes, I have. And the last time that I went, I was actually pregnant, and it was my first trimester, and I was really sick, and I was heartbroken because I couldn't worship as I would have liked to. Because and one time I even threw up during Salatul Fajr in the Prophet's masjid, and I didn't want to dirty his carpet, so this is gross, but I kind of ate my throw up.
Oh no!
I had to break my salah, and I was running through the lines, and I had to go outside, and it was really really emotional. So alhamdulillah, Allah has given me another chance to take full advantage while I am healthy, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy for you. Honestly, it makes me emotional just to hear your story, and I'm just that this is the power of dua, that your du'as were answered. We're so grateful that we were part of that, and I hope that everyone else's du'as, everyone who is still hoping to go, inshallah, can join you. Let me know where you live, inshallah, TM me, and I'll let me know when you end up going. So let's see if we can.
I live in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York. That's not even too far. Inshallah, fair. Please keep in touch. Thank you so much for your participations in this, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's so nice to actually put a face to the winner and to put an experience to it, and that makes it so much more beautiful for us as well. So thank you for making our experience beautiful, and congratulations
to all of you.
Barakallah fiki, barakallah
All
fiki.
of you will be in my du'as, inshallah.
Inshallah, may Allah accept from you that your du'as, your efforts this Ramadan, and may answer all the deepest du'as that you had that were beyond the Umrah, inshallah. Now you have so much power, so make stronger du'as, and may Allah accept them, inshallah. Thank you so much for this experience in this.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
That was such a treat. I didn't expect for us to be able to do that, to be able to get our actual winner, alhamdulillah, on. So thank you so much to Sindus, alhamdulillah, for providing us with that experience as well. I know I've cut a little bit into Sheikh Waleed's time, but that was so worth it. So thank you for that. And inshallah, we'll kick off his session now on the Zakat-ul Fitr. And Sheikh Waleed, you were mentioning you'll do a little bit of a reminder on Eid as well, right?
Inshallah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala wa ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh jami'an. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by his names and attributes to accept from all of us our fasting and our salah and our qiyam and our dua and our ibadah. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless Sister Sarah, her family, with Sarah, with all goodness, and all of you. And thank you for participating with our program, Ramadan 360. As we coming to the end of Ramadan, and some of us already ended Ramadan last night, and today is the reverse Eid, I wish everyone a very, very happy Eid, regardless if it is today or tomorrow or even after tomorrow. This being said, I want to remind each and every one of us about an important ruling as we come to an end of Ramadan, which is the ruling of Zakat-ul. And I don't want to spend much time on the fiqh area here, as much as I want to talk about, some reflections regarding Zakat-ul, especially in a time as such where we're meeting a lot of challenges and the stake is high. And the Eid is completely different experience than Eids before, and even Ramadan was a different experience for so many of us than all of us, I would say, than the Ramadan before. The Zakat al-Fitr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made it wajib upon each and every person who has enough food for the day of Eid. So if you have a meal to cover your food in that day, you must give Zakat al-Fitr, whatever extra you have from Zakat al-Fitr, you give it. And you understand now why in the process in the beginning he put it as a form, or in Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said it, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, farad Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have prescribed upon you to give on behalf of every person that you have. Every person, old, young, child, adult, even in the old days when they have slaves, at home, they have to give it on their behalf as well. So everybody in your household, you give Zakat al-Fitr on their behalf. And it is obligated on the rich, poor, men and women, and all type of people. And the amount of Zakat al-Fitr is sa' min tamr, the stable food of the country. And it is as sa'. A sa' is when you put your both hands together and you fill it, like with barley, with rice, beans, and you let it go 4 times. That will be a sa'. 4 times will be a sa', and an average hands. And it is so important for us to know the roots of Zakat al-Fitr, how it is calculated, because a lot of people today think Zakat al-Fitr is $10. And Zakat al-Fitr is not $10, it's not $20, it's not $15, it's not 15 riyals, it's not like 50 rupees. No, it is actually a sa'. Why it is so important to understand this? Because the price of rice and these type of food is not the same. Rice 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago was not $10. It was much cheaper. 20 years from now, rice might be more expensive or cheaper. So if you give $10, you did not fulfill the obligations. Where do we come with $10, $15, whatever amount the people have, or 5 pounds or 10 pounds? Where do the people come up with that? They will look at how much that amount of rice will be worth. And if you live in a country, rice is not the main food. Let's say it is grain, or it is beans, okay? You will look at that and you will say, okay, this is how much is the amount of rice equal to this amount. In modern language, this is a little bit less than 3 kilos. 3 kilograms in pounds will be, when you transfer it, it's less than 3. It will be around 6 pounds. Okay, so if you look at 6 pounds of rice, you see the average rice, how much is it? And that's how the money is calculated. Can I give it money, or I should give it in the form of food, rice, or the stable food of the country? And it cannot be given in a non-stable food. Like you cannot give 3 kilograms of, for example, sugar. Even though I know some people that's their stable food, their base food, but it's not. That's not what it is. You give the basically the essential food for the country, what they feed on the most. You can give it fruit, for example. That's why al-ulama rahimahullah said in the time of the Prophet he said, "Asa' min tamr aw zabib," a sa' made of, or a sa' of dates or raisins. Today, dates and raisins are not stable food, so they're not even applicable. When the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam give examples of date, raisins, barley, he was not restricting Zakat al-Fitr into these categories. No, he was just giving example of the common food at that time. Now, raisins and dates are fruits, are not food. Shaykh al-Islam bin Taymiyyah rahimahullah talked about that, and other scholars as well. And it is not allowed for you to give Zakat al-Fitr from it, because culture change. That's how it's calculated, and you give it. You can give it fruit, or you can give it money. There is a debate among the scholars over this issue. In the early generations, you'll find the majority of the scholars will go with giving it in a form of food, and it should be restricted food. And the one who leading this, Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala. But on the other hand, you'll find other scholars, great imams, allowed it to be given in a form of money. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, Imam Sufyan al-Thawri, Imam, and the top of that, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, and also it looks like the choice of Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala. and Imam al-Zuhri. There is a great line of scholars. The great line of scholars said that you're allowed to give it in a form of money. And I love what Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah said. He said, since the zakat, it meant to benefit the poor on the day of Eid, we look at what is the thing that save the poor person the best. If it's food, give them food. And food, I don't mean a meal. I mean that stable food, the grain, because it can be, the faqir can receive the Zakat-ul Fitr, what is going to cover him for a whole year until next year of Zakat-ul Fitr. And the second thing is you can, if you find no, it is much better and it's much beneficial to give them a form of money. And I believe in modern days, money is really more beneficial to the most cases, not all the cases, but most cases. And also it's much easier to control and to handle and to use. And there is another point, I will say it later, which is empower and help. It's empowered by another issues that I will mention in a little bit. Why I think money will be a much stronger, it's a strong opinion today, because the following point. Beside what I just said from the Imam, from the ulama, from the point that Ibn Taymiyyah said that the zakat is meant to look after the best interest of the poor person. The zakat is not meant to boost the farmers or the rice farmers or the people who grow these grains. That's not the point of zakat. The zakat is meant for what's the best interest for the person, for the poor person. And also this ibadah, it has to do with the faqir. It's not about you, it's about the faqir. That's versus al-udhiyah. Al-udhiyah, it's about you. It's not about the poor person. That's why you can eat your whole udhiyah. You give a little bit of it according to the Hanabila, but the majority said you can eat the whole thing for yourself and you keep it for your family. So al-udhiyah, so nobody can tell me, Sheikh, isn't the best interest for the poor, and instead of spending $400 on a sheep or a lamb, you just give him the money? Yeah, but the udhiyah is not about the poor, it's about you. It's a ritual, that the sacrifice that in itself. That's why you can keep it for yourself, you can give to the neighbors, but Zakat-ul Fitr, it's about those who are in need. So there's a difference between the two. That's why you will not find any disagreement between the fuqaha in regard to al-udhiyah. Can you give it in form of money instead of meat? Nobody ever said that, as far as I know. The next point that I was saying, which is support this idea, whom should I give Zakat-ul Fitr to? Zakat-ul Fitr should be given to the poor and the masakin, according to some of the scholars. But actually, I would say the majority. And if it's not the majority, it's a large number of the fuqaha said actually the receiver of Zakat-ul Fitr, definitely it's the majority of the fuqaha, the receiver of Zakat-ul Fitr are the same as the receiver of Zakat-ul Mal, the 8 categories. Some excluded 1 or 2 categories from it, but Zakat-ul Fitr can be used to the same category with Zakat-ul Mal. And that's a very strong opinion among the fuqaha, rahimahullah ta'ala, because they said there is no proof to restrict it only to the poor people. When it should be giving? It should be giving definitely before Salat al-Eid. Before Salat al-Eid. What if I didn't give it before Salat al-Eid? You have until Asr end. Some said to Asr, some said to Maghrib. You still can give it as a form of qada. You're making it up. Okay. In Nabi Sallallahu, when he mentioned that whoever give it after Salah, it's just a general sadaqah, yani whoever never had intention to do it, never thought about it, after such, let me give something. That became a general sadaqah. But if you have the intention and you forgot, the majority of the fuqaha, you said until the end of the day. Many of the fuqaha said that. And it's like you making up ibadah that you missed. That goes along with the principle of Sharia. But definitely that's something you should give it before Salat al-Eid. There is a hadith, even there is a weakness in it. أغنوهم عن السؤال يومها, that in the Sunnah Daraqutni, he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, make sure that you make them not in need of looking or worry about food that day. So the point is to make them happy in the day of Eid, the fuqara and the masakeen and the one who in need of help. Zakat-ul should not be kept, it should be given immediately. And I'm saying this because some organization, they take Zakat-ul and they keep it in the account. Even I heard of some organization, they have like $300,000 accumulated Zakat-ul from years. Definitely that's not allowed. Definitely that's haram. Definitely that's not the correct ijtihad. Zakat-ul should be given, it should be given immediately. Also, many of the Muslim organizations play the role of representing the rich and representing the poor. So if you give it to the organization, as if you give it yourself to the poor, because they represent them and they represent the poor as well. So even if they give it later on after Salat al-Eid or something like that, like let's say I give my Zakat-ul-Fitr to Islamic Relief. And Islamic Relief have all these tents and refugee camps and let's say, or a program of helping people register in it, or helping hand, or ICNA Relief, whatever organizations, Penny Appeal, whatever organization that you have in your country, or your local masjid who have a list of poor people come and take Zakat-ul-Fitr. And he have them and they basically kind of they play the role of representing them. In this case, even if they come later on the Asr or next day, that's fine because you have done it on time before Salat al-Eid and you give it to someone who represents the poor, who represent the rich in the same time. Can I give it as early as what? I prefer that you give it 3, 4, 5, 6 days before Eid. Okay. Some of the ulama said you can give it from the beginning of Ramadan. And some opinion, even you can give it any time in the year. Because I don't believe that, because Zakat-ul-Fitr has to do with the siyam and fasting. And also, the reason I say that it be given right before, to be given to the poor people before Eid, because the whole point is to be giving as you end your fasting and to purify your fasting. The point is to make the poor people happy at Eid time. More if you give it to them in the middle of Ramadan and they used it, you know, when Eid comes, they still not feel the happiness and the special occasion and that special gift that is given to them at Eid time. But you can give it to the masjid and the masjid collect it, and around Eid they can give it out. Ibn Umar radiallahu anh said that we used to give Zakat-ul-Fitr a day or two before Eid. And Ibn Umar known to be among the Sahaba who cares about following the Sunnah the most, very strict into that. These are, do you give Zakat-ul-Fitr on a child who is, or a pregnant woman? Does she give Zakat-ul-Fitr and her baby who was not born yet? Uthman radiallahu anh, that's his fatwa. Yes, you do. A lot of the fuqaha said you don't have to. It is something good to do, but you don't have to because it's not alive yet outside the mother womb, and it's not considered a person yet that you're responsible for. So that's what it is. If I'm a single mom, am I obligated to give Zakat-ul-Fitr on my children? Yes. Or whatever the child support is. If their father exists, if the father there and he's alive, it is his obligation to give, because that's part of the nafaqah that is wajib upon the father, not the mother. But if there is no father and the mother is the only one taking care of him, she gives Zakat-ul-Fitr on their behalf. And you can give Zakat-ul-Fitr on behalf of other people as well, like friends, you know, they can't give it, or family member, cousins. You can't, as a general rules, you can do that in any form of zakat. So now I'm getting all these fiqh issues out. Zakat-ul-Fitr, there's always fiqh to add. Zakat-ul-Fitr, you should not give it on behalf of dead people because they didn't fast. Okay, unless someone fasted some part of Ramadan then died. In this case, they give Zakat-ul-Fitr. Someone didn't fast because of sickness, they still give Zakat-ul-Fitr. There is several key points I want to mention out in regard to Zakat-ul-Fitr. And I want you to reflect on the wisdom behind Zakat-ul-Fitr. Number one, Zakat-ul-Fitr reminds us of a very important concept, which is al-ihsan, to try your best to perfect your actions, to do it exactly right, to do it correct. You know, al-ihsan is an attitude, and Zakat-ul-Fitr teach us this. Even in Ramadan, we do ihsan, we pray on time, we fast on time, we end on time, we start on time. We try to protect and guard every, our senses and our tongue and our, control our lust, and it's a great ibadah. Okay, but also Zakat-ul-Fitr comes to perfect that. That's why Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said it. It's to make up any kind of shortcoming in the Ramadan. So if there is any hole in your fasting days, this will patch it. Zakat-ul-Fitr is to make sure that you finish Ramadan perfect way. It is the difference between doing things perfect, exactly right, or doing things okay or nearly right. A commitment to excellence that will enable us to attain success in our life. That's basically, this attitude is so important for us to have. Striving for excellency. It's an Islamic spirit, and it should be always our attitude as Muslim. We need to switch from doing things nearly right to exactly right. We need to change from being good to being great. That's what is Zakat-ul-Fitr inspire us to do. So, it's just, okay, I fast Ramadan. No, we want to make sure that Ramadan and fasting is perfect. قُلْ لِعِبَادِي يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Tell my servant to say the best, not just what is okay. Okay? Those who commit themselves to high standard in life, they will attain so much. Those who always aim at the moon, even if they miss the moon, they will land somewhere on the stars. That's big difference between those who aim low. Inna Allah yuhibbul muhsinin. Allah loves the muhsinin. Zakat-ul-Fitr, another reflection about Zakat-ul-Fitr, which is make us reflect on the concept of social solidarity, interdependence. And that's something we learned so much in this pandemic, social solidarity and interdependence. Your health, my health depends on it. If you're sick, you can make me sick. If you stay negative, I stay negative. And I mean by negative, don't have the virus. But if you are positive and you have a positive attitude, it will impact me. We depend on each other. Do you see how the cycle of life? Some of us just saw it very clearly. Just if it's one, part of that chain broken, it affects the rest. If there is no people can go to the farm, no people can go to work, and you're staying home. Imagine if there's no one was able to run the electricity in your city, or pick up the trash. Alhamdulillah, and that didn't happen in the vast majority of places around the world. The life that we have today, it shows us how much we interdepend on each other. And that should not be only on these type of things, work and the chain of food and merchants that we need at life, but also it should be a bigger thing that we feel how much did we need each other. In the middle of this happiness, farha. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Inna al-Sa'im inda fitri farha." The fasting person, when it comes to fitr, is so happy and happy every night, but also so happy at the end of Ramadan. Last khutbah to Jummah I gave, and it's on my Facebook. It's about, should I feel happy or sad as Ramadan come to an end? I answered that question in my khutbah. But the point here, the hadith basically cover both, that you're happy upon your fitr, yani in the end of the month and every day when you break your fast. So in the middle of that happiness, we don't forget the poor. While I'm celebrating Eid, I don't, with my family, I'm busy with my family, it doesn't mean that I forget about the poor that day. When my focus on my clothes, on my gifts, and wrapping the gift, I should be thinking about the poor. فَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. Be good to people as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have been good to you. لَيْسَ بِمُؤْمِن, wouldn't be a believer, a person who spent that Eid day with a filled or full belly and happy, new clothes, and his neighbor, the minimum, which is the meal of the day and the food, it's just something that they are worried about. We remember the right of those who are less fortunate in our community and society. And it should not only stop at those who have less money, but also we should think about those who have less rights, unfortunately. Those who've been there is injustice been done to them. Those who've been oppressed, those who've been marginalized in the society, those who the rights been taken away from them, those who their homes been stripped away from them, those who are stuck, they have no other crime except their color, skin, or their religion, or what they believing in. This Ramadan make us think about that. Think about that social solidarity with our brothers and sisters who've been treating unfairly on borders, on society, by the brutality of police and military personnel around the world. The Ramadan basically taught us, and especially the last 10 days of Ramadan, taught us our responsibility towards our family. That's why Nabi Sallallahu used to wake up his family, making sure his wife's up, his daughter up, Ali, his son-in-law up, So Ramadan, there's a lot of focus in the last 10 days on the family and to care for them. You pray at home with the person, pray at home, and Sahaba used to pray at home with the family, helping one another. When Eid comes, after we took and focus on the family, now we focus on the society. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Ramadan used to make i'tikaf with his wives. That's a whole entire focus on the family. But when Zakat-ul Fitr is the focus on the poor, on the people outside the circle of my family. And that's why Islam is so beautiful, because it gives everyone their due rights. Zakat-ul Fitr also established a very important principle in Islam, which is the principle of responsibility. And that's a long talk, because one of the things that it's really frustrating when you see a lot of people today among young generations, they don't take this word seriously, which is being a responsible person. We feel that we can demand things. We don't have the responsibility to earn things. We think that people can do things for us. We don't feel the responsibility for doing it ourselves. We feel that this is the responsibility of someone else. The problem that we're living in, done by people before us, and it should be solved by people who will come after us. But us in the middle are like not responsible. It hurts me. Once when I was talking to a brother in the MSIs, and I was talking to them about certain things in the city, and he told me, Sheikh, we're just kids. I said, no, you're not. You're 20. He said, we're kids. I said, you're not. That's not being kid. If you die today, you will be judged the same way I will be judged. If you're 16 or 15 or 17, you will be judged in the same way. You're adult, you're responsible for your action. So Zakat-ul Fitr have emphasis, or the Zakat-ul Fitr give that emphasis on the importance of responsibility. Why? Because me as a father, responsible to give zakat on behalf of every member of my household. It reminds fathers And that's a very special message for fathers out there who neglected the responsibility towards the children. The Zakat-ul-Fitr remind you of one aspect of it, which is I'm responsible to make sure that I give Zakat-ul-Fitr on behalf of every single member of my family. And if this is the case, that should go beyond just that $10 or the sa' or the 6 pounds that you give. It also reminds you of your responsibility towards raising your children, taking care of them, being connected with them. I always believe that kids spell the word love, T-I-M-E, time. That's how they spell the word love. The more time you spend with them, the more love there will be. And spending that quality time. It's your responsibility not only to provide a good education for them. It's not only to protect their dunya, but also to protect their religion. وَاجْنُبْنِي وَبَنِيَّ أَن نَعْبُدَ الْأَصْنَامَ. Protect me and my children from worshiping the idols. أَمْ كُنْتُمْ شُهَدَاءَ إِذْ حَضَرَ يَعْقُوبَ الْمَوْتُ إِذْ قَالَ لِبَنِيهِ. When Jacob told his children, who are you going to worship after me? That he felt the responsibility to make sure that they know Islam. They know what is Tawheed. They are aware of what is Shirk. It is my responsibility to make sure that my children pray. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Ya Bunay, in Surah Luqman, my child, my son. Order your family to pray on time, or to pray and be patient with that. Many examples to making sure you raise them to have high standards in life, principles in life. Like I ask yourself, and try to make it that sometimes be honest. You ask your children, what kind of principles in life your children learn from you? One of the things that it is still in my heart, my father, rahimahullah ta'ala, was a very generous man. And he always liked us to be generous and not to turn anyone away. I will be in trouble if somebody comes to my father and come to the house and say, Assalamu alaikum, is your father here? And if I say no, I'll be in trouble. Even my father is not here. I was taught not to say no. You know what our parents taught us? To say tfaddal first. To say, welcome, come in. Before I say yes or no, he's not. If I know the person, obviously. And he would say, is he here? I said, no, he's not, but you're welcome. Because you want to teach us to be generous, to be respected for guests. It is your responsibility. When you have a guest at home, don't let your kids playing PlayStation or like on their phone while there's a conversation going on. You teach them the good manners. You teach your children what ithar means, which it means that I give others and prefer others over myself. I share, I care. You teach them how they trust themselves, how they have self-respect, and how they respect others. Teach them to be brave and strong. I love how Ibn Zubayr was raised by his father, Zubayr ibn al-Awwam. When Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu arda, walking on the street, the kids start running left and right. Abdullah ibn Zubayr was standing. Umar said to him, why didn't you run like the rest of your friends? He was a kid. He said, Alhamdulillah, the road is wide enough for you to pass, and I'm not in your way. And I did not do anything wrong to fear you. You are Umar Khattab, and I love you. Umar was amazed by his aql, by his wisdom. Teaching your kids, not to be waster. Don't let it just, it's your responsibility to teach them not to waste food, not to waste toys and clothes. Teaching them the etiquette of Islam. The Prophet said, the boy, say Bismillah and eat from in front of you. To teach the kids. I'm happy when I hear and saw through Facebook these pictures of you praying with your children, teaching them how to pray and fasting and breaking fast together. And I miss the noise, believe it or not. I miss the noise and the complaints that used to be said in the masjid about kids. Even though we're fortunate enough that our masjid have an indoor playground and stuff like that, that kids can be occupied and they pray Taraweeh together by themselves with their own imam. You know, we have a lot of program for them. We have much less noise than other masajid. But you know what? We miss these because the day you don't hear noise, kids' noise in the masjids, that's a dangerous day, because that means that you might not hear the voice of Quran tomorrow in the masjid, because they are disconnected from the masjid. Another reflection on Zakat-ul-Fitr. Zakat-ul-Fitr established a very interesting concept, which is وَاعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيكَ الْيَقِينُ. You worship Allah until the last day of your life. Isn't that interesting? We just finished Ramadan. We fasted 30 days. We recited Quran 30 days. We made Taraweeh and Qiyam 30 days. We give our zakat. We've been donating almost every week to one cause or another. But still, as we ending Ramadan, we're doing another ibadah. We're starting another new war after worship, which is Zakat-ul-Fitr. And after Zakat-ul-Fitr, soon it will come Hajj and fasting, you know, Arafah and Muharram and so on. So if you see that cycle, it is so important to keep us engaged in the ibadah. We will have the 6 days of Shawwal fasting after Ramadan. And that because we constantly engage in the ibadah. So when your faith, so when you Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, so when you finish your occupation or whatever you're occupied with, وَإِذَا فَفْرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ. When you finish what you were occupied with, which is Nabi Sallam occupied with what? Allah telling him in the Quran. With what? With teaching people, teaching Quran, taking care of the Muslim affair, you know, his family, and all these an act of worship as well. He said, so exhaust yourself in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or devote yourself into the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what you call an istiqamah, steadfasting on the deen. Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub wal-absar thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Ya Allah, the one who control the hearts of everyone, keep my heart always on the straight path. What would you do to keep up with Quran? What would you do to keep up with sadaqah, with qiyam al-layl, with fasting, with this active service that you did in Ramadan, like feeding or helping? What would you do to keep up with dua, with nasiha? Remember, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, the best of deeds are the one that you are consistent in it, even if it is small. So I hope that after we tasted the sweetness of ibadah, the sweetness of ta'ah, that we don't let this go to waste. And I'll quote what Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, and I think it was Ibn al-Qayyim. قال إن من أعجب الأشياء أن تعرف الله ثم لا تحبه. One of the most surprising things to me is to know who Allah is, and you get to know about Him, then you don't love Him. And you hear His caller, and you don't respond. And you know how much you win by trading with Him and dealing with Him, then you start trading with someone else. To know how severe His punishment and anger is, then you provoke Him. You taste the sweetness and the happiness of being connected to Him, praying to Him, listening to Him. Then you will occupy yourself or entertain yourself with things from the worldly life with other than Him. And أعجب من ذلك كله. And the thing that surprised me more than all of this, that you know for sure that you need Him and you can't survive without Him. and you need him more than anything else, more than your food and drink and even the air that you breathe. And yet, you turning your back to him and you acting as if you have nothing to do with him and as if you don't need him. Please don't be that. After you know that, after you know how important to be connected to Allah, how this life is worthless, please make sure that this Ramadan will keep you coming forward. Zakat-ul-Fitr, another concept of it is a reminder of us not to be arrogant. Not to be arrogant. SubhanAllah, it's amazing. We just fasted, we just give zakat, we give sadaqah, we make dua, you know, we did all this. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us, and the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِنَّهَا طُهْرًا لِلصَّائِمِ. It's a purification for you. I've been doing all this purification. Now another purification. Yeah, because you're never going to be perfect. That would break the arrogance in the heart. فَلَا تَمْنُنْ تَسْتَكْثِرْ. Don't think that you are doing favor to Allah. Ya Allah, this is from you and to you. It's not from me, it's from you. You're the one who told us what to do. You're the one who sent us the messenger and the book and the message. You're the one who informed us and guided us to it. And you're the one who helped us to do it. How many people sleeping in the night and you are awake? Allah guided you to that. How many who are around you not fasting, don't even care? Allah guided you to that knowledge, that actions, and aid you and help you to do it, and made it possible for you. So it is from you, Ya Allah, and to you, and we do it for you to please you. Whatever we give, whatever we offer is so little compared to what have given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or it will be so little comparing to what will be given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a reward. And that concept is so important. وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ وَأَنْفِقُوا مِنْ مَالِ اللَّهِ الَّذِي آتَاكُمْ وَآتُوهُمْ مِمَّا آتَاكُمُ اللَّهُ وَآتُوهُمْ مِنْ مَالِ اللَّهِ الَّذِي آتَاكُمْ. Give them from the wealth that Allah given you. It's a constant reminder in the Quran about the concept of, you know, don't be arrogant because of what you do. What you do, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think this is so important concept, is to make us always humble on our knees and feel that whatever we do, we're grateful and thankful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity. We think that we are happy that we're able to do it, but yet we're not arrogant because of it. It doesn't make us arrogant. It makes us more humble. It makes us more grateful and thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This Zakat-ul-Fitr, and I will end with this, it's also an amazing concept in it, which is, in Islam, there is no second chance. In Islam, there is third and fourth and fifth and million chances. It's not only a second chance. You have a million chances. The only time you lose your chance, if you die. When you see the angels coming, or when you see the sun coming from the west. That when there's no more chance. But there's not only second chance. There's second and third and fourth and fifth. SubhanAllah, Zakat-ul-Fitr, it's an opportunity for those who have not done good during Ramadan. Okay? Not done good during Ramadan. Now it is an opportunity for them to do good and to be connected with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to perfect or make up some of what is missed in Ramadan. The hope will never disappear, will never vanish. وَلَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ. There will be always hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy. There will be always opportunity for you to grow, opportunity for you to make it up. That's why we end this Ramadan by thanking Allah and asking for His forgiveness. These are some of the meanings that we should think about when we do this great act of worship, Zakat-ul-Fitr. And unfortunately, I noticed that a lot of people don't reflect a lot upon the meanings behind Zakat-ul-Fitr and the values of Zakat-ul-Fitr and the principles Zakat-ul-Fitr established in the mind and the heart of each and every one of us as Muslims. Eid this year is special. Many of us will be praying Eid at home with their family to keep them safe, especially if you have young children or elders or those who are their immune system is compromised, pregnant women. Definitely, I will highly recommend you to be very careful from coming in a crowded place like Eid gathering, and many places also still under stay-at-home order. And in this case, I want you to know that you celebrating Eid with your family, celebrating Eid, inshallah, with the angels, celebrating Eid with people around the world, even if we physically couldn't be together, but you are spiritually together. Salat al-Eid at home, Salat al-Eid in itself, there is a debate over the scholars. Is it sunnah? Is it fard kifayah? It is fard ayn. It is an obligatory upon each and everyone, like the Ahnaf said, and one narration of Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, and that I think what Shaykh al-Islam also leans towards, that is obligation upon everyone. And that's what the opinion of Shaykh ibn Baz rahimahullah as well. Or it's a communal obligations. So it is, if some people did it, it is sunnah for the rest of us. So if there's 3 people did Salat al-Eid in the masjid, or that's sufficient for the whole community, and the rest for them are not obligated to pray. Or it is purely sunnah, like Shafi'i and Malikiya said. It's not even for the communal obligations like the Hanabila said. And that's a very strong argument as well. Regardless, because of that pandemic and because of the situation, not gathering in the masajid in the large number, it is an excuse for people not to witness Salat al-Eid. Otherwise, Salat al-Eid is one of the signs of Islam. Even if it's recommended, but still it is something important. And it is so important, especially for us who are living in the West, for our children to understand what Eid is. It's not fair for your kids to see people celebrating Christmas and celebrating, Thanksgiving and all these happy occasions that are around us in society. And for them, Eid is just nothing but, another day or a day that they've been, there's no fun in it. Make sure that you make it fun. Make sure that you make it a happy day. Make sure that you exchange gifts. And the Sahaba used to do things of that nature, to give gifts and to celebrate it and to welcome and to be happy. Even the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam allowed people to use the musical instrument, the duf. It's like a form of drum in Eid, just to show happiness and just be happy. The point is to feel the difference. And also in Eid, because of this pandemic, we might be praying at home. I do believe if it is legal for you in the community, that at least the masjid, at least one masjid or the masajid, to have 3 people as minimum to establish Salat al-Eid in it. The takbir, which is start after Salat al-Fajr, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar wa lillahi alhamd, Allahu Akbar kabira, walhamdulillahi kathira, subhanallah bukrata wa asila. There's also another format. The first one I said, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allah Akbar, wa lillahi alhamd. Sa'id ibn Jubayr and others used to do it. There's many narration from the Salaf on a different format of takbir. It doesn't matter really. The point is to say Allahu Akbar, Allah Akbar as much as you can. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala greater. It's a reminder of you that, it is because of the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we fasted. We now celebrating the break of the fast and so forth. So you do that at home until you pray Eid. When do you pray Eid? you can pray Eid 20 minutes after the sunrise. So if you're at home and you're the whole night standing and you want to sleep after Fajr, make everybody dress up and line up and pray Eid, then you can go 20 minutes after the sunrise, okay? And you have all the way until Dhuhr. And some people midday, but inshallah, until Dhuhr, you are allowed, or before Dhuhr. Make sure 20 minutes before Dhuhr you don't pray, because that's one of the time which is Salah is not recommended. So let's say 30 minutes before Dhuhr or so, you should already prayed your Eid. The Sunnah in Eid al-Fitr to be early in time. And you eat something before you pray to signify that I'm not fasting. Fasting the day of Eid is haram. How do you pray at home? You pray at home, according to some of the scholars. If there is a salah already established in your masjid by a small group of people, it is only sunnah for you to do. You can do it. Some ulama said you don't pray at home at all, but that's the strong opinion. You can. I don't think we should be strict about that. And I think it's important for the kids to understand the importance of Eid and to pray together. So you pray. How do you pray? The majority of the fuqaha will say you pray in the same way you pray Eid. So takbir, 7 times in the first rak'ah, 5 after you raise from the ruku', and says after you raise from the sujood in the second rak'ah, say Allahu Akbar, then you follow it with 5. Or in the first rak'ah, you say 7 including takbiratul ihram, or 7 after takbiratul ihram, or 3 like the Ahnaf says. All these came from the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ardahum, Ibn Mas'ud, Ibn Umar, and Abu Hurairah, and others. They all perform these in different ways. And Shaykh Aisha radiallahu fi hadithiha. So alhamdulillah, they are all okay. The takbir itself sin. Some ulama said no, you pray 2 rak'ah without extra takbir. Some ulama said 4 rak'ah, that Ali radiallahu anhu was fatwa, and Ibn Mas'ud, you pray 4 rak'ah like the way you pray Dhuhr. And some even said without tashahud in the middle. And all these are eligible and fine for me, however you want to pray. Because all been reported from Salaf, rahimahullah. And you can go to Amja online, look at the fatwa that we issue in regard to this. There is some people even going to do a drive-through Salat Eid, park their cars, and if they get out of the car and pray next to their cars, I'm fine with that. Praying inside the car, I'm not fine with that. For a simple reason, because Salat al-Eid la hay'ah, la sifa. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam prayed Salat al-Eid in certain ways. And it's not just any 2 volunteer rak'ah in the night. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to pray while he's in his rahila. That's not understanding. That's not how the Sharia works. Okay, Salat al-Eid, it's a very special salah. And it is a very well-defined salah. And take it as a rule in ibadah. We don't change how the ibadah looks like. We don't change the way the ibadah is ordained. We keep it as it is. There's no need for that change. Either you can pray next to your car, and you get back into your car, or you pray at home. There's no need for this gathering. Not on the expense of changing the deen and changing the way. Otherwise, tomorrow, if we open this door, somebody go to the masjid and he's in his car. People praying and he's praying in his car. There is and he said, oh, it's sunnah. I don't need, so I'm going to get out of here quickly. No, we don't want to make that happen in our religion. But I think it's a smart idea to have a car, an empty spot, then another car. And in the middle, people can pray. So between me and the other family, the car. So that means there's a social distance, and the same thing for each car. That's how I would have organized it if I organize a large number of people to pray in an open area or a big parking lot. Anyway, so after Salat al-Eid, alhamdulillah, you can congratulate each other. And I want to emphasize in the end on the importance of social distance. Unfortunately, Eid is the opposite of social distance, but it's still important. We don't want our community to get sick because they were not careful, because they were not taking the precautions. So please make sure that you maintain that. Maintain a good hygiene, washing hands, no physical contact with people. If you're sick, don't come to any gathering, even your own family. And inshallah, soon we will be celebrating Eid as we always do safe and sound and rewarded, inshallah ta'ala. I will leave the rest. If anybody has any questions, I will be happy to answer it. Otherwise, I tried my best to cover most of your questions that come to mind. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa taqabbal Allah minna minkum. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I ask Allah to reward you nothing less than Jannah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with us, because nothing after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being pleased with us except Al-Firdaus al-A'la and Jannat al-Na'im. Allahumma ameen.
Jazakumullah khair for that amazing reminder, Sheikh. I think we'll just take one question just because we're a little bit past time and I want to hear the amazing things that Sheikh Suleiman has to say about farewell to Ramadan. So we'll just take one interesting question. And that is, what if I give zakah for next year this year to help somebody in lockdown, but spend my money and it does not reach nisab next year? Does the advance payment transfer to the year after, or is it ignored?
You're allowed to give your zakat in advance. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked Abbas to do that. You should give what you're expecting to be the nisab of next year, and whatever extra is sadaqah, because your intention is for the next year. Yes.
Sounds good, inshallah. I'll take one small one. Okay, fine. Sheikh Suleiman says to take a couple more questions. Okay, so inshallah, jazakallah khair for that extra time. We'll take a couple more, inshallah. The next one is actually a really good one, so I'm glad we got time for it. And someone's asking, how do I stay more connected? I'm a new Muslim looking to learn more. Open-ended, but I'll let you answer that, Sheikh.
Nice. One of the ways to stay connected is stay connected by having a good company, a good source of learning. Like, let's say you start taking courses, and since you asked this question, if this person, what's the person's name?
His name is Adamajan Ba.
Adamajan. So Adamajan, I would like to give you as a Eid gift a free registration for Faith Essential. And that's something, a portal that you can always access anytime. Just make sure that you contact Sister Hafsa, and inshallah we will give you a free access for a year in Faith Essential. And if you already have Faith Essential, I would like to offer you, one course that you choose to take from the main course that we have to take, inshallah ta'ala, as a gift from me for Eid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you. So one way is to keep connected with that. Also have friends, people that you can talk to, you can ask, to keep you strong in this path and learning. And make sure that the religion is, to understand religion is like an ocean. You have to take it step by step. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you strength and guidance, and guide you to a good teacher who from Ahl Sunnah, moderate, to have a good understanding of religion, to take you step by step into that religion.
Please reach out to me, Adamajan. I know you already have Faith Essentials, but it depends on your membership. We can make it a year, or we can also add the course, inshallah, at hafsa@almaghrib.org, inshallah. The next question is, can one give Zakat-ul Fitr on behalf of one's mother and siblings when you are unsure if your father will give on your behalf? If one is given Zakat-ul Fitr for those that they intended to, does giving money to someone who asks also count as Zakat-ul Fitr, especially if you're unable to give the person food in person?
Giving money instead of food, as I said earlier, it is allowed, and it is, I do believe in many places in the world, it's the best interest for the poor. And that's the whole point of zakat. As for you voluntarily giving it on behalf of your father, so you give it for your siblings and mother because you don't know if your father did or not, yes, you're allowed to do that. And if he gave, it will be sadaqah from you because it's obligated on him. And yours will be like kind of donation on their behalf. And also another point he asked about, giving money to someone who asks. If you're giving the money to this person and your intention that this is Zakat-ul Fitr, yes. And here I want to make sure that people understand that you cannot have the intention after the actions. Like you cannot give, okay, this is $10 to this poor person. Then I'll go, you know what, I'll make it Zakat-ul Fitr. You can't do that. It has to be before giving the money or while giving the money. That's in your intention, that's Zakat-ul Fitr. Okay? if it reached the hand of the poor or reached the hand of the organization, خلاص. But if it didn't reach them yet, you can change it. Let's say it's a check and they did not cash the check yet. You change the intention, that's fine. And you make, you know what, I'm going to make it zakat. That's fine. But if you cash it and deposit it and it's get out of your money, no. In this case, no.
Perfect. Good to know. Thank you for making that specification. The next question is if it's difficult for somebody to fast while working, can they fast the 6 days of Shawwal or pass missed fasts on the weekend, such as Saturday or Sunday, or fast 2 days together? Is that permissible?
Yeah, you can break the 6 days of Shawwal over the weekend. That's fine if that will be easy for you, inshallah ta'ala. I think we'll stop here. The rest of the question, Sheikh Sulaiman is way more than capable of answering them, inshallah ta'ala, and I would like to hear him. So first of all, Sheikh Sulaiman, I want to say Eid Mubarak to you. And obviously I said Eid Mubarak to everybody here. And if you don't see it, that's how it is. Or maybe that's way better. Eid al-Fitr Mubarak. So I want to say Eid Mubarak to everyone. And Sheikh Sulaiman, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you, bless your family. Now finally, Sheikh Sulaiman, you give Zakat-ul on somebody else.
Eid Mubarak, Sheikh.
Before you run away, Sheikh, really quickly, I just wanted to thank you. SubhanAllah, yours was the first session, Sheikh Waleed. It was how to make this your best Ramadan ever. And alhamdulillah, I think we can speak for everyone that this has been the best Ramadan ever. Jazakumullah khair for your contribution. You covered such a wealth of topics from itikaf to sadaqah to, I have such a list of them, I can't even get through them all. The fiqh of the last 10 nights, your fatwa night, SubhanAllah, you've been such a generous resource to our community. May Allah accept it from you. And Eid Mubarak to you as well. Take care and enjoy it with your family. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Oh, Sheikh, I can't hear you.
I was saying earlier, Eid Mubarak to you as well and to your family. Thank you for being a great host and really appreciate all the hard work that you do and all of us and all the Maghrib team. And I thank the audience, but also I want to thank my team and Mashayikh and the participants. They did a wonderful, great job. So proud to be part of this team, alhamdulillah. And inshallah, the next one will be hopefully, we keep this connections. Ramadan 60 is done, but we can do non-Ramadan 360, which is another 11 months. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh Sulaiman, no pressure for this session. Jazakumullah khair for giving us this finality for our Ramadan 360 community. I have my tissue box ready. So inshallah, I won't take too much of your time. Thank you for giving us some of that extra time with Sheikh Waleed. Once again, Sheikh Sulaiman Hani, everyone. He's our Director of Academic Affairs, and we're so excited for him to come and give us, for the day 30 technically of our Ramadan 360 programming, our farewell Ramadan. Let's get ready, and inshallah, I'll pass it off to you, Sheikh Sulaiman. Bismillah.
جزاكم الله خيرا. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. To get right into it, inshallah, I'm going to make it short and sweet. This is a farewell Ramadan session, but it is informational. It is, inshallah, beneficial. There's something to take from it. One of the questions, as we are, for many of us in the Western Hemisphere, still in the month of Ramadan, and even for those who finished Ramadan, one of the questions that should be going through our mind is the question of acceptance. Qubul. Was our Ramadan accepted? And of course, we worship Allah imanan wa ihtisaban, with faith, with iman, and with hope for the reward. And the hope must always be there. But there's something that's sometimes not emphasized as well. On the other side of the balance or the spectrum, there's also an element of fear. Did I do enough? Can I do more? How do I use this fear to do more after Ramadan as well? Do I know that it was accepted for sure? So there's a beautiful report from At-Tirmidhi about Aisha radiallahu anha. She asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about a specific ayah. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْتُونَ مَا آتَوْا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ وَجِلَةٌ أَنَّهُمْ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ رَاجِعُونَ. And those who, whatever good that they do with their hearts, still fearful, أَنَّهُمْ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ رَاجِعُونَ, that they are going to return to their Lord. These are people doing good deeds, but there's still some element of fear, knowing that they are going to return to their Lord. So Aisha asked, are these people who drink alcohol and steal, The Prophet ﷺ said, no, O daughter of As-Siddiq, they are the ones who fast. They are the ones who fast and pray and give sadaqah, charity. But they fear that those deeds will not be accepted from them. Again, these are the ones who fast and they pray and they give in charity, but they fear that their deeds are not accepted from them. They are the ones who race to do good deeds and they excel beyond other people in them. And this is found in the next ayah. أولئك يسارعون في الخيرات وهم لها سابقون. It is they who race to do good deeds and they are excelling beyond others. Why? Sometimes people misunderstand the concept of having some element, some degree of fear about not knowing, was my deed accepted? This is not the type of fear that paralyzes someone from doing anything. And this is not the type of fear that causes anxiety, where someone is now not able to function or cope with life. No, this is the type of fear where you know, because you have hope, you know that there is a very good likelihood that your deed is accepted, but because you do not see it for sure, this fear is moving you forward, propelling you. It's a type of fuel. So it is causing you to do more good because you cannot see that your deeds are accepted or not. Was my deed accepted? So they are fearful, knowing that they are going to return to their Lord as a result of the elements of fear, which is now a proof that it is a good thing. They end up doing more good. They don't just do good, they do more good. They race ahead. They're racing for it. They're quick to it. And they are ahead of other people, leading other people. Why? Because there was an element of fear. Was my deed accepted? Since I do not know, I'm going to do a lot more good. Since I cannot see if my salah was accepted, I'm going to do a lot more good in my nawafil throughout the year. Since we cannot see if Ramadan was accepted, let us do a lot of good after Ramadan as well. And we don't want to say after as though it's a faraway thing. After Ramadan for many people is tonight, for many people in just an hour, for other people they have already finished the month of Ramadan. So one of the ways we can be optimistic moving forward that our Ramadan was accepted is to also have an element of fear that we cannot see it, that we cannot see the acceptance of our deeds. Therefore, I'm going to do even more good after Ramadan. If you take from Ramadan some good deeds that you were not doing before Ramadan, then there is a very likely chance, and you have a lot of hope and optimism, that this is a sign of qubul. A sign of an accepted deed is that you are able to do more good moving forward. A sign of an accepted Ramadan is that you continue doing good after Ramadan. A sign of an accepted act of worship is now it opens up many doors to other acts of worship. So sometimes, yes, we emphasize only iman and wahtisab and the hope and the optimism and the desire for reward. That is always there. Never lose that hope. But on the other end of the balance, you want to also have some degree of concern that I cannot see behind the scenes. I cannot see if my deed was accepted, and I want to know that I'm doing a lot of good since أنهم إلى ربهم راجعون, we are going to return to Allah. So I want to do a lot of good and race ahead of other people. Those who do not have that fear, some scholars say, they are not classified in the next ayah. أولئك يسارعون في الخيرات. Why? Because they don't find themselves really having a sense of urgency. A sense of urgency that I need to do more good than other people, that I need to race ahead. I'm not just going to do what I was doing before Ramadan. I'm going to do a lot more after Ramadan. Consistently. So my dear brothers and sisters, as we wrap up Ramadan, and we have all experienced, no doubt, a very, very quick Ramadan, and more importantly, a very unique Ramadan. We have seen many people, for the first time in their lives, give life to acts of worship from within their home and learn how to do Ramadan on their own from within their homes. A lot of people around the world learn how to do Taraweeh. A lot of people learn how to make dua and pray Witr prayer. A lot of people learned about the rules of Zakat-ul and the rules of Zakat in general. A lot of people learned in general and saw so much knowledge because a lot went to the online world, a lot transformed to the online world during this pandemic. And as a result, alhamdulillah, now many homes around the world are equipped with the knowledge of how to do good throughout the year. Meaning what? The same way that you gave life to many acts of worship in the month of Ramadan, you can give life to your home with acts of worship throughout the year. And so the first point again was the point about the fear that some people have that allows them to excel beyond others so that there's acceptance. The second, I want us to recognize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed us to observe and witness in our homes and around the world, depending on where you are and how many people are with you, most likely the overwhelming majority of the ummah saw within their homes some degree of increased worship in Ramadan. Something was slightly different, or maybe less major sin, something of an improvement in Ramadan. I would say the overwhelming majority of our homes. And I want us to think for a moment that if you were able to do more in this Ramadan, if you were able to excel in Ramadan and improve and get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during this blessed month, seeking His pleasure, seeking the reward, seeking forgiveness, seeking guidance, seeking relief, seeking acceptance to all your dua. If you were able to do this, not only in Ramadan, but in this unprecedented Ramadan, in this most unique Ramadan, in which we were on lockdown all around the world, if you were able to do more good during this Ramadan, you can do good any time of the year. You absolutely have the capacity to change any time you want. And you must believe that. You must believe that. You must believe that. You can improve, inshallah, after Ramadan. The same way you did with Salah. In Ramadan, you can take Qiyam, add something you were not doing before. If you were not praying Qiyam before you slept, before Ramadan, add 2 rak'ahs or 4 rak'ahs, make them light. The Prophet ﷺ instructed the one who stands for Qiyam to start off with 2 light rak'ahs. Why? Because you are much more likely to continue after that. Start off with something, but don't allow yourself to leave Ramadan and take nothing from it and go back to what you did before Ramadan came. This was a unique Ramadan, if not the most unique Ramadan of all of our lifetimes. And so take advantage by taking from your salah, from your fasting, fast something after Ramadan and don't wait too long. From your charity, your sadaqah. A lot of people will dip in their generosity after Ramadan. Try to be consistent. أُولَٰئِكَ يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْخَيْرَاتِ, race to do good. وَهُمْ لَهَا سَابِقُونَ, and excel beyond others and encourage others as well. Knowledge. We had Ramadan 360 sessions every single day of Ramadan, and it was not just for like 30 minutes, 15 minutes. This was a jam-packed program. And some individuals, mashallah, left and right, attended lectures all the time, learned a lot, took a lot of notes. The posts that we have in the Facebook group are unique. And I have not yet seen anything online like Ramadan 360. We have seen, alhamdulillah, many amazing programs for many amazing institutes and mosques and Islamic centers and da'wah organizations, alhamdulillah. But if you look at the Ramadan 360 family, and you look at the Ramadan 360 curriculum, and you look at all of the manpower and womanpower, all of the effort that went into it, the amazing number of volunteers and staff and students and attendees from all over the world. This was a very unique thing. And so what we want to say is, if you are seeking knowledge more in Ramadan and as a result benefiting, then be consistent and find, inshallah, some source of knowledge after Ramadan as well, so that you are consistent in growing towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the last point is the point of Quran. Whatever you took from the shifa, from the Quran, take it long term as well. Our responsibility religiously is to take what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed and to apply it fi kulli zamanin wa makan, correctly, in every time and place, in the best way possible, meaning not only the month of Ramadan. And the ummah always has room for growth. The ummah always has room for improvement in terms of the quality. We are not just quantity. The largest body of religious followers in the world within the next, inshallah, in the next 2-3 decades, wallahu alam, if not sooner. We want to also continue worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout the year, because we do not worship only for the sake of Ramadan alone. Remember the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he departed, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu had to remind the people, whoever amongst you used to worship for the sake of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then know that he has died. وَمَنْ كَانَ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ حَيٌّ لَا يَمُوتُ. Whoever worships Allah, know that Allah is ever living and does not die. هُوَ الْحَيُّ, He is the ever living. لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُ, there is no God but Him. فَادْعُوهُ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ, worship Him sincerely in this religion. الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Lead yourself and your family after Ramadan to do a lot of continued good, to continue to pray together, to continue to fast together, to continue logging into programs together, listening to lectures together, posting funny things together, inshallah. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He allowed us to experience this most unique Ramadan, and we tried and we put in our effort, we tried our best to get close to Him from within our homes all around the world, I ask Allah to keep us consistent throughout the year and to accept. Oh Allah, accept. Oh Allah, accept. Oh Allah, accept. For there is no one who can accept our deed except You. Oh Allah, accept, for if you do not accept, we have nothing to look forward to. Oh Allah, accept from us. We tried our best. We had many shortcomings. The month flew by very quickly. Oh Allah, we ask you to forgive our shortcomings and faults and to accept from us and to guide us and guide others through us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to experience many, many more Ramadans in a good state, in a personal setting. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to relieve us of this challenge of this pandemic around the world. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us. Remember, Allah says, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. Allah accepts from the God conscious. Oh Allah, make us amongst al-muttaqeen. Allahumma ja'alna min al-muttaqeen. Oh Allah, make us amongst al-maqbulin, those who are accepted. Oh Allah, make us amongst the grateful, al-shakireen. Oh Allah, make us amongst al-muhsineen, those who do righteousness. Oh Allah, make us amongst al-mustaghfireen, those who seek forgiveness. Oh Allah, make us amongst at-tawabin. Waj'alna Allahumma min al-mutatahhirin, amongst those who seek repentance, amongst those who purify themselves. Oh Allah, make us amongst al-faizeen, those who truly win, those who truly succeed in this life and in the next life. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us many more years of good health and strong iman and the ability to worship strongly and to encourage others as well. Allahumma ameen, Allahumma ameen. I want to thank all of the Ramadan 360 family, the attendees, their loved ones, the staff, the volunteers, Al-Maghrib Institute, and everyone who facilitated it, everyone who supported it, and the donors as well. May Allah reward every single person who supported Al-Maghrib Institute and all of its projects and faith essentials. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us consistent throughout the year in doing good and keep our hearts unified, connected throughout the years. Allahumma ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us for our shortcomings. And of course, jazakumullahu khairan to Sister Hafsa and to all of the volunteers and to all of the staff who hosted the 360 calls and who supported the group as well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward us all and keep us consistent. Allahumma ameen. We look forward to seeing all of you immediately after Ramadan, inshallah. For those of you who finished Ramadan, stay connected, stay connected, stay connected. The group is there. There is no excuse now not to stay connected in some way, inshallah. You might encourage someone in a way that would cause them to come back, inshallah, to an act of worship by posting one thing in the Ramadan 360 group. So take advantage, inshallah, of this opportunity to be virtually connected during this time. May Allah accept from you and us an early Eid Mubarak to all of you. And for some of you, a belated Eid Mubarak. May Allah accept all of our deeds, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to see the fruits of our deeds in this life, and especially in the next life. And as we gathered here virtually for Ramadan 360 for the last 30 days, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to gather personally in the highest levels of Jannah forever. Allahumma ameen, Allahumma ameen. Wa salli lahumma ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa jazakumullahu khairan.
Barakallah feekum, Shaykh. I don't know what to say to that. SubhanAllah. Thank you for your role. Jazakumullah khair for helping us find our purpose, to connect with Quran, to connect with Allah, and for facilitating this journey as well, and for engaging with us, for commenting, for sharing, for having your live du'as the past few days. It has been such an honor, and that has been making our community so special, is to have our shuyukh have such a role and such a passion and such an encouragement in it as well. I hope that we continue to have this, inshallah, going forward. And I'm glad that you encourage everyone. Keep posting, keep connected, share the khair, and let us race towards khair together as well, inshallah. Shaykh Salman, jazakumullah khair for that beautiful farewell address. Not a farewell, a pause, and inshallah see you in a couple of days. So inshallah khair. I hope that you enjoy your Eid as well. So Eid Mubarak to you and your beloved family, and inshallah we will catch you on the flip side of Ramadan. Take care, Shaykh.
Inshallah, jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to everyone, and Eid Mubarak. Barakallahu feekum. It's my turn, everyone. Sheikh, I hope you will do me the honor of exiting so that I don't make a fool in front of myself in front of you. And inshallah, everyone, I just want to do is a quick, it's not a goodbye. So I think that will keep us all on the right, I think, mood for this, inshallah. It's not a goodbye, inshallah khair. It's just a pause. And for this chapter, this beautiful chapter, this really unique experience that we set off, alhamdulillah, that is coming to a brief close. Inshallah, we will be back again with much more and much better. But I did want to take, and I can't say this off the top of my head. There's just so much to say. So please excuse me for the next 5 minutes, inshallah. And join me, and please keep us, again, all of us in your du'as. I'm just the face. I've had the privilege of being the face of Ramadan 360. There's been such a beautiful community, such a beautiful staff and volunteers that have made this so possible, well beyond my capabilities at all. And you guys have worked together and been such a happy family with us, alhamdulillah, for this past month.
Honestly, it came together way, way beyond our expectations and our hopes and our dreams and our imagination. A lot of you asked me where, I got the energy from for these sessions. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Sister Hafsa. I host a lot of the Al-Maghrib online and Faith Essentials and whatnot sessions. So you'll see me again, inshallah, after this. This is not goodbye for sure. And please do shout out that you are from Ramadan 360 and be active and stay in the group and keep inviting people to khair with us as well, inshallah. But, a lot of people are like, oh, Hafsa, you have so much energy while you're fasting and whatever. SubhanAllah, that energy comes straight from you guys, from your kindness, from your comments, from your regularity, and even those who pop in just once in a blue moon and I recognize their names or I see them, a lot of people join at once. It makes me so happy that you guys have been so passionate and so enthusiastic in this journey towards khair, that you've supported our charities, you've supported it along with me. It's felt like we've held our hands with each other throughout the month of Ramadan. And I know this is not over, inshallah. Your presence, your smiles, your laughter, I can't thank you enough. There's so many names that I have and I won't go and I won't bore you guys with for those of you who don't have the same level of emotional connection. But just seeing some people who are so regular, who are so positive, Shazia and Zohal and Hanar and Heavy and Rakshi and Vazira and Henna and Latifa and Ammar and Sana and Janabu. There's just so many names, and apologies, I'll try not to speak too fast. I know that's a weakness of mine, but I can't thank you. You have been in my du'as by name, and all of you, the community has been in my du'as in general, and all of our du'as at Al-Maghrib Institute, alhamdulillah. So thank you so much for being part of this family, and I cannot wait, and I hope and I pray that every one of our sins is forgiven and that we walk away from this month, unburdened forever by our sins, and that we be reunited, as Sheikh Sanaman was saying, as Sheikh Waleed was saying, in this world at every single opportunity at a Maghrib classes or otherwise. I'll travel to you, I'll go to Umrah with you if anything, and of course in paradise. And I hope that we recognize each other there. For those who didn't win, or for those who didn't, get the final prizes in the experience, you are all winners. Every good that you did is going to be multiplied in reward. And I cannot wait, inshallah in Jannah, to be like, oh my God, Almas, it's so nice to see you. Oh, uncle, oh, subhanAllah, Almas has told us so much about you. We were making so much dua for you in our Ramadan 360 group and our community. It's so nice to see you doing so well. I know I'm imagining, but subhanAllah, it just makes me so happy to think that inshallah khair, may Allah forgive us for all our weaknesses, and that, with our intentions and with our efforts, and as we continue with them, that we will be reunited and we get to see all your beautiful faces and your families and your souls, even those who are hurt, who were lost before the month or during the month, to be reunited with you all and meet you all inshallah in Jannah. I won't drag this on, inshallah. Allahumma ameen, ameen. May Allah accept all of your du'as, all your deepest, darkest hopes and dreams and everything that you think is not possible. May you have removed yourselves of those barriers, have softened your heart, connected yourself, everything that you were weak with going into the month, everything that you were embarrassed by. And you may not be perfect, but may just have heard enough tidbits, enough motivation to know that inshallah you can continue on this beautiful journey to seek beneficial knowledge. Jazakumullah khair for honoring myself, the Al-Maghrib family, the Al-Maghrib team, our shuyukh, our beautiful shuyukh, and our scholars and our guest speakers who made this such a rich and beautiful experience, and including us in it. Please continue to engage with us and to be part of this family going forward. This is for life. This doesn't stop here at Ramadan 360. May Allah accept from myself, from all of us, from you, from our entire family, from the entire ummah. Ameen. And may Allah, forgive us of any weakness in our manners and any weakness in our deeds, and accept from us. Ameen. I'm out of words. I'm gonna start getting emotional, so I'm gonna stop here, inshallah. But I just want to thank you genuinely. Sorry for dragging this on a little bit longer. It's been such an honor, and I hope that you guys will continue and join me with the Al-Maghrib family, Al-Maghrib online, Faith Essentials, etc. Thank you so much for your support and your kindness and your beautiful words throughout this month. It means more than we can say. And continue with us, inshallah. It can't be a goodbye, so I'm not going to make a goodbye. So Jazakumullah khair, Eid Mubarak, enjoy it, play it up. Do it big, share your Eids with us, share your posts, share your beautiful gifts and your families, and we'll keep you all in our du'as going forward. Keep us in your du'as, and inshallah khair, I'll catch you later. Take care, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.